Ho, 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 good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, and perhaps even good morning, depending on where you are. Thank you so much for dropping by and joining me for another exciting, spontaneous, kind of pre-Christmas, almost into the Christmas thing that is called 3D Shenanigans. Madness Middles is here. Thank you so much for dropping by. And I totally remember those good times as well that you're talking about. The ones where I had my Z840 that I'm using right now as my main rig. And I had that render the Carrara lake animation. And I think there might be some more good things happening this year along the same lines. Mr. Brian is here. Wonderful to see you. I'm totally getting a good return here. My stream is not stuttering, but then hey, I'm in the same household as the stream, so it's one of those things. Mr. Rocelli is here. Ho, ho, ho to you too. Welcome everyone. Super nice to see you. Speaking of chilled beats, I'm going to put on some dreamy beats here from currently the Joby. There we go. Let me show you something that I've made earlier today. I'm pretty proud of it, and I'm going to continue that work today. It is this little guy. It's the Synty Santa. This is in fact a version that I've posted on the social media. He says Merry Christmas, and he's got that snow effect in there. Let me show you a slightly better version, which is of course on OpenSea. That is this one here. OpenSea plays this back as an MP4, so the resolution is a bit higher. There we go, Synty Santa 2021. I've put him up. I thought he's so nicely done. I've put him up without the logo, and he's up for a 3-day, not so much an auction, but for a 3-day listing right now on OpenSea. I'm going to go and put that link into the description. He's unique, of course. So here he is. He's the Synty Santa. If you want it, if you know somebody who might want it, then, you know, do give them the link. This is something that I've made this morning, and I've recorded my screen doing so. And what I find amazing about this is how this all came together. So I've made a time lapse that I'll edit, and it's gonna be nice to show you all the background bits and pieces. This is of course the Synty Santa from the Synty Store Shop Pack. I believe, is it this one here? No, that's the City Pack. This is the one I was using yesterday. And the cool thing about the Synty guys is, of course, they're not standing still either. They're making new things. And this one here, the Shop Pack, is currently available for 75 bucks. And I'm going to use this later because the characters are very different than the one that we've tried yesterday, which were from a slightly later pack. And I think here he is. Among many other people, there's the Santa, and I thought, oh, I really want to do something with him, and we'll see what happens. And this came out. So I've done exactly what we did yesterday, used 3DS wrap to put him into the shape of the Genesis figure, and then I've put his original morph back in, and that's, you know, how I've made that happen. But the background, I thought at first to draw a still image, and I thought, maybe indeed 75 bucks, Rod. Absolutely, it's 50% off. It's still that kind of Christmas Black Friday type sale, and it comes with vast amounts of goodies there. So I grabbed that, and it was he's just a fabulous character. It comes with vast amounts of, you know, bits and pieces and shops and whatnot. But the snow is actually from something that Julia made. So she's playing with Core at the moment, and I don't know if you know Core, but it is based on Unreal Engine, and it is a game development environment, and it's kind of cool to see that. So she had this ready to go for a game that she's working on, and I thought, you know what, if I just grab a bit of a screenshot of that, or grab this, I can just impose the Synty guy on there, animate the speech bubble, and there you go. So much for the Synty guy. Wonderful to see you all. Let's go get some work done. Primarily in Blender as well as DAZ Studio. Actually, primarily in DAZ Studio. I'm not going to actually use wrap today, other than just showcasing what I've figured out earlier. So this is kind of interesting. Let me go and put my my pointer focus on so that you can see what's going down. I'm going to go and, in fact, just load in the scene that I've loaded in earlier, and that is the shop's characters, I'll call it. So this is what that looks like, and it's very different to the Synty characters that we've had a look at yesterday, because there was only one file in the source files that was a character file, and it had one armature and then several characters on top of that. So that was very cool. So if I switch Santa off, I can go and switch someone else on, which is now the musician male, and then there's also the musician female and all that. So not knowing this, I thought I had literally just switched on Santa, clicked this, and then I exported it and did the thing in wrap, right? So I went export wavefront OBJ, and then I exported this, but I forgot to tick selection only. So what that did, of course, that exported all the characters out into wrap, and I didn't know this, unsuspecting, person here. So it actually did the nice thing, and when I did the exact thing that we were following yesterday, let me just go load this project in, the Santa.wrap. That is the project. These are the nodes that I've used, just like we did yesterday. And I had to repair the geometry first and foremost, and then I select the small components, then I delete those polygons, and then we do the wrapping, just like we did yesterday, and it worked perfectly fine. So I'll go, and I think I have to do the wrapping again because it doesn't remember that. Let it wrap its thing. And here we go. It looks a little wonky, and I thought, hey, that's fine. I mean, it's Santa, and we're going to restore him to his former glory and all that. What I didn't know is that all the geometry was still in here, so all the characters are on top of one another. And that is also how they went into DAZ Studio, which is kind of cool because now I have a DAZ Studio file that is rigged, and all I need to do now is remove the geometry from every character, and then I have my group of characters, which is seriously cool. So I didn't know that wrap could handle that, and it did. So very, very cool. The less work for us. I don't have to use this in wrap anymore. I don't have to use Blender anymore either because I have it all inside DAZ Studio. Pamela, thank you so much for following. I appreciate that. Welcome to Twitch. Wonderful to see you. And I think if you're a new follower, I don't think you can talk for the first 5 minutes or for the first 10 minutes, but that's cool. Hang in there. You will be able to speak to us in the chat very soon. I had to do this because there's just so many spam artists around that, that come into the chat and then just spam chat you. So I had to kind of, tone that down a bit. Miss Joe, wonderful to see you too. Ho, 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 and Merry Christmas. That is a happy accident. That's what I thought. Exactly, Brian. So let me show you what the Santa character looks like. This was my scene. Didn't I save it any other way? No, I think that's it. Well, we can actually do it again. Let's go do this rigging process again from scratch in here, because then I'm gonna go and make another subfolder here in which I can save every individual character. I'll have to do this anyway. So let's go and start with the Genesis 8 male base figure. That is what we're going to start with, the figures. So good to see you all, and Merry Christmas. What are your plans for today, for tomorrow? Any good family bits and pieces you got planned, or are you spending it on your own? I'm thinking of streaming tomorrow, same time, same place, kind of in the afternoon. Depends on how much eggnog Julia and I had. We might stream on her channel, we don't really know yet, but something is planned, and I shall let you all know. So here's my Genesis 8 base dev guy. I'm gonna make him invisible, but he's still in the scene. And I'll go import the thing I thought was just Santa from my OBJ export. So this is what I did with wrap earlier, just import this in. And here he is, and he looked a little wonky, and I thought, well, that's just whatever. And the first thing I've noticed is when I select him and I head over to surfaces, I essentially have so many surfaces. So every character has a surface, and that's kind of every piece of geometry, every character has its own surface there, and they're all just called Lambert and a number. So we're going to divide them by this, and with the geometry editor, it's going to be fairly exciting. So I'm going to go and do the rigging first. That's in... first of all, I think I'm going to go and make him unsmooth. There we go. Ka-ching! Blocky! I will do, yes. I think she will be joining us maybe a little bit later, Joe. I will be on during Christmas, yes, definitely. That's just how I roll. And hopefully I'm gonna, show you the whole screen rather than just part of the screen. These are all the materials I was talking about, and this is how I unsmooth the guys so that they have this blocky look. So let's go and say assets, transfer utility, Genesis 8 male donor figure, target figure, Santa figure, no fitting, no parenting, and boom! Things are so super fast because It's just low poly. Now we'll restore this figure here. Edit Object Morph Loader Pro. Choose my original Santa OBJ file, and it shall restore everything that we need. Because everyone shares one skeleton, this is kind of cool. So we'll go put this in here to 0 for the Santa morph, and this is now something that kind of looks like Santa with a lot of other characters overlaid. So I'll go and take care of the materials now. And I'll just start with this guy here because all the materials share the same texture as well, which is really nice. So it'll be under diffuse. This is them. They also have the various what's it called? The various outfits and skin textures. So I'll just start with this one. And I thought, hey, what's going on? I can barely see other things. Roughness 0.75. I just go copy this material and paste it onto all the other ones. And now Santa and many other people seem to come out. There. Oh yeah, first the other thing I need to do is do the ERC freeze here. With Bone Editor Junior here. And edit adjust rigging to shape. Boom, yes. And we go ERC freeze. And that's that morph taken care of. So I suppose he shouldn't really be called Santa anymore. It's going to be called Synty character. And what I like about it is that this is now essentially that just took so much work off my plate because, you know, I can just go and I just deal with the geometry now inside DAZ Studio with the geometry editor. So let me go and save this out, maybe in a new subfolder here that we're going to call Shops Pack. And in Shops Pack, I might just go and save this guy as a subset. All Shops characters, and it'll just be Santa. That is all. And so now I'm gonna take some time to take all these guys out, and I can always go back to this scene or this subset to bring in all the characters. So let's see how we can do that. I think with the geometry editor, under tool settings, Santa selected, we have all the face groups here, which that's what the transfer utility brought over, so we don't need those. We have all the surfaces, we have the regions and the selection sets. So I don't remember which one Santa actually was, but if we start with Santa, let's just switch people off here until we find something that looks like Santa. And then in a minute we're gonna go and save things. Whoops, save things out. That's, you know, I wonder if we do need to do more work with wrap then. Because where's her hair? What are those props? This is Santa here. So he has hair. No one else had hair. I'm gonna have to go and look into this in Blender. I wonder if the hairs then are those props maybe? Is that possible? Thanks for being here, Joe. No worries. And happy dinner cooking. I like it. And yes, who is William Taylor Fredrickson? Because I don't think any of us know that, Rod. Tell us. And it's just you over Christmas? Okay, good stuff. Yes, just us over Christmas as well, Rod. Just Julia and me. How about you, Brian? What's happening on your Christmas? And Madness, what's happening on your Christmas? You getting together with the family? I think Emerga was getting together with the family. He was saying that. Interesting. So we may have to work with hair props. I'm not sure if they are in the Blender file. let's see. So if I go and say like Muscle Man, no, they all don't have hair. Look at that. So they've changed this slightly compared to the other characters. We'll see if we can find some hair props then. That is even cooler. You have modular characters now with the Synty guys. That's so cool. And I'll take those names from the... Let's start with Santa. So we know this is Santa. So I'm going to go and rename this into Santa. And I'll go and remove all the other pieces of geometry here. So if I go and just click plus, does that work? I don't think it works. I think I'm going to have to go and say kind of select by, no, assign, no, I'm going to have to do this, don't I? So geometry selection, select by surfaces like this, and I'll basically, can I not select all these surfaces? Yeah, just like with the plus sign, right? Yes. So this is how I select everything, but not Santa. So Santa's 1411 faces are still not selected. Right click, geometry editing, delete selected polygons. Check it out. First time test from Miss Pamela. Wonderful to see you. Now you can talk. Thank you so much for your patience. Let's go delete all of these things. You think Santa's gone, but no, he's just hidden. There's just Santa. All right. Welcome, Santa. Thank you for hanging in there, buddy. You are now the official character that we can go and save. Haha. And I'll go and save him as a scene subset, I'm thinking. I'm just framing him up so that we can get a little thumbnail there. And all I want to save is Mr. Santa. Compress, no compress. No compress means I can look at it with the text editor if I wanted to do that. And that's the Santa saved out. So we'll deal with hair later because it wasn't in the base figures in Blender, so it wouldn't have gone through wrap either. So I'm thinking I'm going to use hair much like I would use high-res hair in DAZ Studio and just make it a smart prop that pops right into place. I like the hot dogs though and the potatoes. The black olives on the potato salad. Is it a potato salad or is it just going to be boiled potatoes, sauteed potatoes, roast potatoes? Big potato fan. And you're more than welcome, Pamela. Good to see you. Pamela, did you see this Santa thing I've made? It's on OpenSea already, and I'm doing some more work on this. This is him here. Merry Christmas, everyone. It's the Synty Santa inside DAZ Studio posed, and I'm making a time lapse of this as well. Super exciting 3-day listing. I'm thinking, you know, this might be super exciting. I'm so chuffed. I'm in a really, really good mood today. I've received an early Christmas present, can you believe it? And it had to do with ETH as well. There was a contest that I didn't even know I had entered, to be really honest, and it had to do with the Non-Fungible People Discord server. It turns out I've won, and I've won a 4th NFP, which is super cool, and it's already in my wallet. I'm super chuffed about this. I've also won a cash prize of 0.5 ETH, which is serious amounts of cash. I'm super over the moon by this, so thank you so much, DAZ/Taffy. Thank you for a wonderful year, by the way. This is super, super exciting. I would probably be in a good mood if that hadn't happened, but because it has happened, I'm in an extremely good mood. So that's Santa done and dusted. Let me go and take him out, I think, and we'll go and bring this in, and let's remove Santa and many of the other characters now. Do you know, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Thank you so much, Rod. I couldn't believe it, Pamela. It was just such a wonderful surprise, and I'll have to check into what kind of contest that actually was, because I don't really recall entering something. I think it had to do with the early days of that Discord server and how we all spread the word around it, and there was a way that you could get that as a winning prize, and I'm just overjoyed. Travis told me earlier. I was thinking, oh my god, it's just, that's unbelievable. Right, these things, when they happen completely without you being prepared for it. And I remember we talked about this back then, Rod, when you became Artist of the Year, because it was just such a cool. It was just you were in the run. You were one of the last 3 people, and it was you and somebody else, like kind of 50-50. And like we all are, we go, well, you know, what are the chances of winning? And you got it. So wow. So congrats. Hope you're going to be Artist of the Year 2021 as well. Why wouldn't you? Let's do this by the book here and see if we can find the corresponding shape to, just so that I get the names here. So I'm thinking attendant female. That could be her. And then there's attendant male. Let's see if she has got a pocket on the front here. See if this corresponds to the first Lambert surface here. And we'll say, make everything invisible. Can we do that? Turn all of them? Something like that? We can't do that, can we? That might be her. Yeah, she's attendant number 1. So it probably follows these patterns here. Let's go and see if we can name these, and I can oversave that file. So attendant, what did they call it here? Attendant female. Okie doke. Check you out. This is going to be attendant male, I'm thinking. Or you, basically. Attendant male. Still have trouble believing it. Okay. Yeah, chat to Travis. Tell him Jay says hi. Attendant male. And then we have clerk female and clerk male. Or clerk, rather. Well, actually, let's check, shall we? Clerk female, then. I remember there was a big discussion when the movie Clerks /Clarks came out. I think it was a British movie. Was it American? I don't remember. Clerk male. Clerk versus Clark. Then we have you, Jim female. And then there's Jim male with the exercise outfit. I like it. Jim female. So I wonder then if there is actually an update available for the characters we were playing with yesterday, because usually I would imagine maybe they update this retrospectively. Who are you with the jacket here? This is neat. Hunter male, followed by musician female and musician male. Okay, so hunter male. Interesting, there's no hunter female. Musician female, then you are probably musician male. Oh, okay. Casserole as I cook it in the frying pan. So yeah, this is something like sauteed then, isn't it? And Rod just calls it yummy. That's cool. Hey, I've baked, well, Julia and I have baked together earlier, a very exciting chocolate mint cake. Very cool. We're not very lucky when it comes to baking because we're still, and I know it's been 10 years, but we're still so used to how we make recipes in baking recipes in Europe. And that's very different because we don't deal with Fahrenheit, we deal with centigrade in regards to oven temperatures, and we don't deal with quarts and pints and ounces, we deal with milliliters over there. So it's very difficult to like, there's 3 variables that you have to translate to make this work. And then on top of that, there's of course the convection oven versus the non-convection ovens, all kinds of things. So, but it turned out really well. After an hour and 15 minutes, we have a really, really nice chocolate mint kind of a, you know, what do you call them? Like a, you know, it's not a round one. It's kind of a pan type cake. Very nice. Do you know, yes, because everything is slightly different. I mean, 2 cups is about 500 milliliters, but not exactly. So it's one of those things. Ah, the commercial cut me out. Dang, one more reason to subscribe to my channel or get Twitch Turbo. That is what I have. Twitch Turbo. But very good cake. If you were around in the neighborhood, you totally have a slice. Musician male, who are you, my friend? You are, oh, you of course, Santa. There we go, that's you, Santa. On the naughty as well as nice list. Pamela, what are you doing for Christmas this year? You're not in Rome for Christmas, are you? Unless you're flying out tonight. Oh, maybe you haven't known. She's not on the Christmas list. Rod, maybe you need to rectify that ASAP. What is this woman then here? This was Santa. Shopper female, and then we have shopper male. I love it. This is shopper female, and then we have shopper male. And I love that all these guys are now already rigged, and I don't have to do the slider thing anymore. It's just one morph that's called Synty characters, and then we're good. And then all I need to do is basically come back to this file and then remove the vertices that I don't want, and then just save it out as a separate file. This makes this even slimmer. It's a good outfit. And then we're going to set up materials as well, because everyone comes with different skin tones and different outfits. So those are the things that I'm planning on doing. Shop, and then we have worker male and female. Okay, no worries. You are then worker female, and you are worker male. He's got the vest and everything. Look at that. There we go. That is that. So I'm gonna go and oversave this. It could just be, I might just go call it this whole scene. It doesn't have to be scene subset. I'm okay with it being a scene. Right, all shoppers. This is now a scene. We've split Santa out already, and now this is going to be interesting. I think we'll start at the top of the list and essentially select everyone. That would be a good idea if we could have, you know, can I just do this and then select everything? No, I can't do that. I just have to do this. And then, oh, do we have one more? I'm so sorry. We have one more, don't we? So worker male. Before we get going with this, worker male. Let's just go oversave this this scene here. That was my mistake. So worker male. We have selected, I think, everything except for attendant female. And then we'll go to geometry editing and delete selected polygons. And that is that, right? And then she's the only one who's left. So technically also we can delete all these then, don't we? Remove selected groups because we don't really need those anymore. Or are these just still around because of the... Can't undo that, by the way. Are these still around just because of the selection? Because I'm still seeing something here. I don't think that worked out. Let's go load this in again. No, don't save that. Aloha, Miss Julia. Good to see you. Merry Christmas. Very good to see you. So let's go do this again. Literally select all of these except for the first character. And now we go right click, geometry editing, delete, select it. There's also delete, there's also delete hidden polygons and delete unused vertices. I might go with selections here, just because I'm thinking, you know. Right, see, now we have it. Now we have one surface and that's perfect. That is what we want. Alrighty, so this is now attendant female. Righty. Boom. Alrighty, thank you, attendant female. Bring this guy back. And we'll do it all again. So attendant female now goes in the mix. We select her, not the male guy, and then everybody else. Ta-da! Geometry editing, delete selected vertices, and boom! Attendant male! This is fantastic. Julia, Joe is making something really exciting in a big saucepan that involves hot dogs, potatoes, and black olives. Sounds quite cool. If you take care of the main meal, we take care of dessert. It's going to be great. Attendant male. Alrighty. I'm so lucky to have you. This is a really nice Christmas. It does, right? I was thinking that. All shops characters don't save because we've just done it. Under tool settings, we're okay with attendant male and female. We'll select those, not clerk female, but everyone else. This is nice, actually. I'm so happy I can do this in the company of good people. Delete selected polygons. And boom. Do you know, what would have gone a long way is if I had renamed her. I should have done that for all the other guys. Maybe I can remember this now. So clerk female. That's what she's called now. Scene subset. Clerk female. Actually, let me go and do this with the other guys as well. So this is attendant female. Oh, because it's a subset. Yeah, it's not called Santa. This is now attendant female. Even though she doesn't look female right now. We'll deal with the hair later. And I'll go and oversave her. There. And then we have him as well. So get you out, put you in. Attendant male. It's just a small thing. I'm just thinking, you know, this could well be just called Synty character, but if it's something completely different, I'm just, you know, pernickety that way. And also when you load them into a scene, you kind of want to know who's who there. So Santa is already called Santa. All shops characters. Yeah, I might just oversave it every time. Okay, so now we're after clerk male. Do you know what? That's what she said. She also said, I kind of call it a casserole. So absolutely correct. Attendant, clerk female, male we leave, gym female. And all the other people. Gonski. Budget cuts. Rod, what are you working on right now? Anything exciting that you can share with us? Clerk male. Looks suspiciously like clerk female. I like it. And we go bring this guy in. So now attendant and both clerks. Now we leave Jim female out. The life of a PA. Jim female. Gotcha. Good to see you. Jim female. And not the filament draw options node. And there we go. Perfection. Oh, Rod can't have egg. Why can't Rod have egg? Yes, Rod mentioned that about your doctor. Hey, I always think, Joe, and Christmas is what you make of it. I haven't seen my mom in many years either, and we usually spend something around Christmas, even if it's not on Christmas. We meet in February or something. In a long distance relationships, it's difficult. But like in recent years, I think Christmas for me is very much what we make of it. And I think, hanging out with you guys is a really wonderful Christmas. So that is something that makes this a very social occasion, I find. Oh, one of those file organizational moments. Oh, Rod, this is just perfect to have you around. Sometimes it's mundane tasks that really are just much better if you do them in good company. But of course, good company is also very distracting sometimes. So don't mind me. Don't listen to me. Oh, they take your stomach up. Okay. I remember my granddad had this thing with, what was it for him? He liked eggs, so that was a problem. He liked like 2 eggs for breakfast, and it was just not working for him very well. Okay, attendant male, female, clerks, we're done with you. Jim female, we're done with. Jim male. You're next on the list, buddy. Delete everything else. If he can remember where that was. Selection. No, it wasn't selection. Was it editing? I should set myself up a shortcut for this. I might actually do that. Should I do that? I might do that. Just for this session here. Under customize, window workspace customize. And I'm thinking, hey, this could be difficult to find. CCT, content creator toolkit. That's not it. Is it the geometry editor? Drag lasso marquee. Oh, okay. We can't do something like geometry editing. Yes, we can. Check it out. Delete selected polygons. Haha. Change keyboard shortcut. And should we just make it a D? D is already being used by the view control move right action. That's a very good point. Yeah, let's not do that then. How about Shift D? Is that good? Shift D is already being used by animate to delete action. Would you like to assign it as no? Actually, thank you for letting me know. Shift D for delete instead of the backspace key. That's kind of important. How about Alt D? Let me try that. Alt D. Yes, Alt D will work. Perfect. Apply. This is exciting. I love this. And accept. And if we go Alt D, then that happens. Ha! New shortcut key. Boom, baby. Jim Mail. Okay. I could even set another one up for save scene subset. That would be interesting. But we'll leave that for another time. Jim Mail. Do that. Goody. Bring in these guys. You like eggs, but they don't like you. Yeah. That's sometimes how it works, isn't it? Okay, done with the attendants, done with the clerks, done with the gym guys. Next one on the list, the hunter. And it was Alt D, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Haha! Here he is, the male hunter. Not this, just this. We're making progress here, friends. We're making progress. Okay, done with the clerks, done with the attendants, done with the gym guys, done with the hunter. Now musician female. Alt D. Ka-ching. There she is. Oh, I forgot to rename her here. Musician female. There we go. And no matter how long ago it is, it doesn't really get any better, does it? Yes, hugs from me too, Joe. Musician female. Musician male next. Attendants, clerks, gyms, hunter, musician female, leaving the musician male. Alt D. Boom! There he is. Wow. That is a lot of stuff, Rod. Do you have a label maker? Because Julia has one and I keep borrowing it and it's really nice. It's basically a lifesaver for all kinds of both internal and external drives. At first I thought, well, if you only have one or two external drives, you'll remember the red one does this and the blue one does this. And of course, the moment you have 20, that is a bit of a problem. But also internal drives, I've noticed that I have 4 computers now, 4 workstation computers, like the Z workstations, the HP ones. And every so often I swap drives around, I take them out, I replace them with new ones and larger ones. If I hadn't put a label on everything, what system drive is what's the storage drive, what's another drive, I'd be completely lost. So yeah, I totally hear you. Definitely good idea to make notes. With my 3D stuff, I have my website, so that's really important for me to, when I learn something, part of the process is to write it down or make a video about it or both, so that I have a place where I can go and look it up when I inevitably forget in 6 months' time. So it's good to document stuff. I think especially when we have super complicated applications that we deal with, it's just what happens, isn't it? Santa we have, so we can delete him as well. Shopper female is the next on the list. Ding! Shopper female, there she is. Shopper female. Alrighty. I was just thinking, this scene here, I kind of like the framing, but I would never be able to go back to it, because if we do change it, we've totally lost and forgotten it. So I'll just go make myself a camera in here and just disable it. That's also fine. I'll just go and save this scene again, just so that the camera is saved as well. Okay. We're browsing through that list here. Musician, Santa, shopper female, shopper male is next. Alt D and boom, there he is, shopper male. Oh, now we have 2 things to disable. Glad I did this towards the end. Shopper male. Now what's happening? Now I guess it's on to the workers. Worker female. Here she is. All right, we're nearly done before we can do materials. Yeah, so this is basically now everybody except for worker male. Ding, haha, here he is. Worker male. Boom. That's all the shop characters separated. I love it. Do you know what, Rod? I think it might have to do with the fact that you're a creative guy, and this is because I have this feeling as well. Like I'm pretty bad at documenting things or organizing things, even when I do little projects like this. Like right now, I find myself having a folder on the desktop which is called Synty Test, and the more I do in it, it kind of keeps growing. But of course I can't now just move it off to a different hard drive. I should have thought about this beforehand when I went into this, right? But I didn't, sadly. In it, things are organized, but you know, the moment I move this away to a more sensible location that isn't the desktop, this is going to be a bit of a problem. So I think some people are great at organizing things, others are not so much into that, and I think the more creative you are, the less into organization you are, and I think the more into organization you are, the less creative you are. I think I might be wrong about this, but you know, it's one of those things. I have a feeling. Right, exactly right. And I know your notebooks are really important to you, but it is also true that if you don't know where to find information, that's going to be a problem. It's a bit like the Google guy said that, the Sergey, forgot his name, and the other guy who started Google together. They were that's one of those things, young guys, uni dissertation, and they said, you know what, if we keep growing the internet at the rate which we're growing it at, and it has happened over the last 20-30 years, 30 years? Yeah, it must have been over 30 years now they wrote that paper. They said eventually it doesn't matter how good information is, it's virtually useless if no one knows where to find it. So it doesn't matter that somebody's published it and it's accessible for free. If you don't know where to look to get there, it doesn't even matter that it exists. And we see this now with products that we create. If I create something and it's on some obscure URL, or a video, you know, without a search algorithm that floats this content, no one's going to know it's there. So it's basically, even if it's public, no one's ever going to stumble upon it. It's just not going to happen because we have so much content on the internet. And that's where things like Google and all the other search engines come in, because they index this, they come along, and if somebody searches, they'll float that content. But without such a system, it's tricky. So yes, absolutely correct with Julia's books. Julia's books, unless they're labeled into, I'm putting core stuff into here, I'm putting work stuff into there, it'll be difficult to re-find that information, and you'll keep forever searching through what you have. So I have storage drives like that as well, where there's a lot of stuff on there, and I don't really want to lose it, but you know, finding it is sometimes a problem. So I've done something else that I just so that you know, we're on the same page here. Something that does help me is this here. So I have assets.wpguru.co.uk, and that's a WordPress website that I'm listing most of the assets on that I own. So each of them has a little thing. If I get a freebie from somewhere, like, you know, I haven't updated it in a while, but this was a freebie we got here, NFP starter kit. If I click on that, It has a list of what's in it. I can be as liberal with it as I like, so I can put things about it on here. There's also a link back to the actual product, so if I want to check out what was in it in detail, I can go and do that. But most importantly, I have my own search function. So if I'm good about this and I say, hey, this product contains chairs or tables, I can go and look into here and say, what I need a chair. Which product does have that? And then I can go and these products come up. All of these contain chairs, and then I can have a look at it and see, is this something that I might want, and then I go and install it, and then I can build my scene with it. But without such a list, I'm genuinely lost. So I can have a look at, well, how much Genesis 8 content do I have, or 8.1 content, or show me all the hair products that I have and which product contain hair. So I can go and look through this and say, oh, maybe Vicky hair is good, and maybe the comb over hair is good, and then I can make a decision based on either the screenshot that's automatically brought in, or if I wanted more details, I'll go and click on the product link, and then that gets me here, and then I can say, oh, this is good hair, I like the hair, comes with, you know, hair colors, and then I can make a decision based on that. Do I want to use it for a scene or not? And it's a lifesaver, really. But I had to spend many years without it, and now it's actually really cool. I love the hair as well. Do you know, and this is another good thing, like Trello boards, they're just so cool for organization. This is something you might want to look into as well, Rod. Trello is magic. So I have an account. You get free things here. You get a free account. I think you get about 10. Whoops, sorry. You get about 10 boards with that. And a board is something that you can tweak to your liking. So I have my gaming videos when I make them. This is what that looks like. So this is very plain and bland and boring, and you can put as many lists on here as you like. But Julia has a Trello board that looks awesome. So you can put little thumbnails into here, and so I can create something like a card. I'll just call this like a test card here, and in the test card you can put anything you like in there. So you can add a checklist, you can put a due date, you can put attachments, links and stuff. You can share this with people, and you can put descriptions in here, and this is like the actual test here. So if I'm making a video, for example, that needs to go through several stages, so I'll say my video gets a title here. I may have a description of it here that might later become the YouTube description, like links that I discuss in the video. I can put them all in here so that I later can go ahead and do that. I can also give it a label. I think label is something that just sets it apart visually from other things, like this. So this is an idea for a video. I'll put that in here and I'll flesh it out a bit. Then eventually it goes to something, this is not on this Trello board, but on another one. It will go on a different list then that goes, and this could be like the, you know, recording. Then it goes into the editing list. Then it also needs to have a thumbnail. Then it goes onto another list. Then eventually it's scheduled to go live. There's another one that goes out for supporters and whatnot on a different list. And then eventually I'm done. And this is how I can track a video, and basically an idea from inception over to production, over to it actually happening. And if I wouldn't have that, it's difficult for me. And then later on you can also go and, you know, archive this, so you can delete that. I'll put this on the done list. So they can also have dates and stuff, and so this is something else to get organized. And if you're working with multiple people together on something, this is just great to keep you on track for a project. So this is called Trello, and it's free. I will stream tomorrow, Pamela. Yes, absolutely. No worries, Pamela. No worries. Yes, I will stream tomorrow. I'm not sure what yet, but it is definitely planned that I will stream tomorrow. So right then, let's go on with material. So this is a question for organization. How am I going to do that? Am I going to have the shops pack? Yes, and then I'm going to have another folder in here. And I'll just call them shops materials, just so that we're all on the same page here. I might actually I might go and put the textures into a particular directory on here. So I think in DAZ Synty Scenes, that's what this was called. Yes, good stuff. Yeah, we're just talking about organizing things and what's best, what's good and what not. Tools to get the creative mind sorted out. The downside to organizing things is if you have a lot on your plate, then organizing, that means more stuff on your plate. So immediately it's not gonna save you time, it's gonna make things more confusing. But if you think long term, then these things are really helpful. Like a database for stuff you have and a note of where to find it, and then the Trello board to keep a project organized that is as complex as a 3D scene. Like in your case, you could have a board for to track the story arc of a season of your chapters, for example. No worries, Pamela. It's a very different vibe here on Twitch, but we'll educate you on the way. No problem. It was so nice seeing you too. And have a Merry Christmas. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Okay, this is my base scene here. It's the same as this, but in here, I'm gonna go and put, I'm gonna just do this like as if it was poser runtime. Shall I do that? I don't have to do that. I'm gonna just put textures here. And since I might just mix all the Synty scenes in here, I'm gonna go and put this as Shops Pack. And in here, we'll put all the shops textures. So they're actually in my downloads folder because I've just downloaded that earlier. Also, I thought perhaps that is not the case. Maybe it was on my desktop still. And if I wouldn't do that, then all my material files would maybe reference the desktop folder, but by doing it this way, it's kind of one step removed. If I ever unmap this library and remap it, this should still work. Is it in textures? Yes, this is where I put that. This is where I put that. So I'll go and put all of these guys, I'll copy them and put them in here. There's many of them that we won't need, like the emissive ones. I don't think we need those right now, but maybe later. There's also the Targa ones. There's a city textures normal. I don't think that's for the characters. I don't think it's for the characters. Let's have a look. No, that's just for... Or is it? It's difficult to see. But the textures we're looking at, these are these 12 here. And they are... So they come in an A, B, and C format, and they come in a 1, 2, 3, and 4 format. So we have 1A, 1B, 1C, we have 2A, 2B, 2C, and this is what I'm going to name them because they have influences on the outfit, and it doesn't matter which character I'm doing this with. Oops. I might actually go and give him a little more, what's it called? Natural pose. Is that front back twist? Is that a different? That's front bend. This is the bend. Okay, got you. Maybe it's this shoulder then. I just want to put him into a bit of a natural pose. It's going to be bent this way then. It's not working great, but it's okay just for the screenshot. And this and that, minus 25 then. You'll be alright, pal. Or maybe we'll just use them in the A pose. That's fine. We'll use them in the A pose. That's good. Just so that we see the whole material here. So let me remap this first of all, and I suppose there will be shaders. I'm not sure if material presets will work. I'll try both. So now I'll navigate to my real directory, which is this, and then that, and then that. And so we'll start with this texture. There's no change, but oh no, hang on, there's a change. Ay, caramba, you look different. What did I do? Are those the correct textures? Interesting. Hey, Mr. Chris, good to see you. Thank you so much for your subscription. I appreciate that, buddy. Merry Christmas. 23 months. Chris, that's crazy. That's 2 years. Wow. Have we been streaming on Twitch for 2 years? It must have been 2019 and no, 2019 I started streaming. My God, that's crazy. 2019 I started streaming on YouTube, and actually back then multi-streaming YouTube and Twitch and Mixer back in those days. But then of course I wasn't an affiliate up until well into 2020. It must have been 2020, like January, February 2020. Streamed throughout that with breaks, and then 21. Yes, my goodness, now we're at the end of 21. Wow. Thank you, Julia. Yes, give Mr. Chris a shout out. Awesome. Hey, good to see you. Very good to see you. Look at that. Pamela loves the style. Me too. Me too. So we have A and B, and I think I'm just going to go and load them all in, and then I'll just switch between them here. I think that's going to be easier. This is a trick that Brian showed me. So that's 1A, 1B, and 1C. So just go and left click and drag this into here. And that's those. So I'll just keep dragging. Oops. And see what happens. This is that. Did you not want to do that? Left click and drag into here. Oh, that's already in there. Good stuff. He doesn't want to do that. Why not? Uncool. Why you no work? Now it works. That was 2C. Did we have 2B? Yeah, there we go. Now we have it. 2A as well. And then we have the 3 guys. 3A, 3B, and 3C. So we'll see this slightly larger in a minute, but the outfit is now the thing that changes, and then with it also the skin color. So I think the numbers are the skin color and the letters are the outfit. So I think that works for everybody. So we have, this is matte one with a light skin color, and then we can do and say 2A is different eyebrows, I suppose. 3A is still different eyebrows. And then that's now different eyebrow color. So these are eyebrow colors. Interesting. But it's all right. I'm going to go and just change through this and then turn them into material presets, and we'll see if that is going to work on the other characters. Let me see. So we have a material preset and we have a hierarchical material preset. Ay caramba, Chris, do you know the difference between those? It's the first time I'm kind of looking at this. Hierarchical versus regular material preset. I'm just trying to save out a material preset that'll work on other characters. We could always try it out. I just don't really know that there was a difference. Curious to figure this out. I'm going to use the regular one here, material preset. And I'm going to call that shops mat, and I'll say 1A. Shall we just name him like that? 1A, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, and D. Let's do that. Maybe with a dash in the middle. 1A. From worker mail. That is correct. Check. And I'm also going to go and save a shader, just because I don't know if I can now load in a different character, like the attendant here. Could probably go right inside that scene. And if I go and put that material preset onto her, is that going to work? Certainly not complaining. That makes me think it's probably going to work. A hierarchy will also apply the parented objects and a figure, but yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So if you had, yeah, that makes sense. If I had clothing now, if I had figure and clothing A, clothing B, and you select figure and you have a hierarchical material preset, it would save, it would maybe put the material of both the figure as well as the outfits on there. That's possible. Very funny, Rod. So regular material presets will work. That's great news. Let's keep going then. This is one of those moments where I'm thinking perhaps the surfaces tab could go on a different tab, but I'm so used to doing this that I'm going to go keep changing. 1A, 1B next. Material, shops, mat, 2, no, that's sorry, that was 1B, wasn't it? Worker mail. There we go. So now we go, this is A, this is B. And I'm not entirely sure if that was meant to happen. I have a feeling this is a little mistake here. But that's okay, it'll work for the other characters. I also don't have 1C in the list anymore. What, that list not long enough anymore? What the? 1C. 1C. It's like 1C. 1C, there we go. No, it's not in here. Why are you not in here? Oh, 1C. And it's textures here. Text 1C. There. Dang, brother. That's cool. Material preset. Shops mat. 1C. All right, let's go with number 2. 2A. I still, maybe it's meant to be that way. I don't know. I might actually just go and copy this out here. 2A. Worker indeed. 2B. 2B is not here. Oh man. So much for organization. Material preset. This is now 2B. Or not to be, eh? And this is now 2C, so you don't exist either. Okay, fine. Thought I dragged you in there. I have it on tape, dragging you in. Totally have it on tape. And that's 2C. Julia, are you having eggnog by any chance? Almond-based eggnog. So now we have the skin tone stays the same, but the outfit changes. No, hang on a minute, that's totally the same. What's going on? Oh, there we go, that changes. I wonder if that's correct then. 2C. Are you 2C? Yes, it actually does change. No, it doesn't change. 1C and 2C is exactly the same. It is definitely 2C, so it could be that some characters just don't have variation. That's possible. Totally possible. Oh, now 3 is gone here. Man, maybe just unloads things from memory every once in a while. That could be. So 3A. And the good thing is we don't have to do this for all characters. It will just work for every character now. So 3A. Your key lime drink. Oh, yes, yes, good stuff. La Croix. Very good. I'm still enjoying this coffee. But my cream is getting a little low, so it's now creamy coffee that's been diluted with too much coffee. That was 3B. And then we're nearly done here. So that's now 3C. There we go. Material preset. 3C. Okay, 3 more to go. 4A. Different eyebrows, totally different personality, and then we'll play around with some of these guys, just load them in. There's one other thing I want to do, which is a reset hand pose. So the hands, if I apply Genesis 8 poses, because they don't really have fingers, these guys, sometimes it looks really mangled, and if I apply such a pose, I would like to have a reset that would just go and just reset the hand. So I'll work on that. Oh, did I just do this? 4A, yes I did. Just, you know, note to self. 4A. Brian, and how's Roberta doing? Oh, okay. Darn. Bad time to ask you this. Roberta wasn't the reason for you having to restart the computer, is she? See, Julia and I, great minds think alike. Very cool. Ooh, X-Bax, thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas. Wonderful to see you. That is really good. Welcome to the dark side of the Twitch. That's so nice of you. How you been? Bits for Christmas. I love it. I'm just saving out some material presets for my converted Synty characters. These are from the Shops Pack, and I've got all the characters in. All we need now is basically the material variations. And this is the last one, which is going to be 4C. There we go. I don't think they had normal maps. It'd be pretty bad if I find out now that I have normal maps, but there's always ways around it. And material preset. 4C. There we go. That's all 12. Now, what happens if we go and bring in other people? So let's say, and before we deal with the poses, if I'm going to go and grab the gym guy and then maybe the male hunter here, and then I have the shopper male. Look at that, they all have different outfits. And then if I go and now we're having a look at the gym male, that's him. And so is he changing? No, he's not changing. Ah! The hair locks because the surfaces are different. The surfaces have different names. That's why this isn't working. Ay, caramba! Well, I should have saved them as shaders then instead of material presets. So this is only going to work on the worker male here, right? Am I correct? It works for him, and that's because of the material name. So I can either rename every material here. Yeah, because this is called worker male, and on the gym guy, it's called gym male. And yes. So I need to save them out as shaders. No worries, boys and girls. Hey, okay, fine. Glad I didn't test this before. There, but I could also rectify the... I don't think they have a normal map applied. Just for laugh, I could just try this. under bump. I don't think it makes a difference. Because I think the normal map is for something else. Yeah, I don't think it's on here. Okay, no worries. We'll go and set this back to none. And let me just go convert these things to shaders. Super easy to do. And we'll stay basically in here. So this guy, you need to be renamed as well. There, so I'm gonna go and basically replace all of these. And since it works on him, I'll just go and save out a shader preset and call that Matte 1A. And that's totally cool. There. And a shader, the difference between a shader and a material preset is that the material preset looks at the name of the surface. A material preset can also reference multiple surfaces at the same time. A shader can't do that, but a shader is universal enough that it can be applied to any surface. That's kind of neat. I might actually go zoom in a little bit more, just so that I see which ones are done here. This one was C, wasn't it? Yes. Yes, it was. There, perfect. It's just another visual indication of what I've done here. So I might just go and oversave these just so that the thumbnails for the interim are the same. Because I'm a bit of a stickler for detail. Sometimes, not all the time. Ding. Oh, clock knockers. Okay, thank you so much. That's a really nice suggestion. I do like time travel games. What is it, like an adventure type game? Or a bit of an action thing? I'm into all of them. I'm good with all of them. Thank you for the suggestion. That's 2A. This is 2B. This is 2C. A bit of both. Nice! 80s, 90s pop culture references. Thank you for the tip. I'm going to have a look at that. That is awesome. Brian's back in action. We were just wondering, was it Roberta that was gnawing through a cable or something? Or is she okay? How is she doing this fine Christmas? .3A, let's do this, and then we're going to see if this works on the other characters here. 3A. 3B. And then we have 3C, and then we're nearly done. Still not entirely sure about this. I wonder if this is not meant to be used, or if it's supposed to be fashion statement thing or something. I don't know. Only the designers know. I'm just so super happy that I could convert the Synty characters into rigged Genesis 8 figures. That's just so cool. So they are rigged. They're not necessarily compatible with Genesis 8 stuff, but that's kind of okay, I guess. I suppose I could make it happen if I set the compatibility base, but they're not really compatible as such. I might actually set my own compatibility base when it comes to the hair. I think we might look into that tomorrow or another day, because the hair props, they need to be fittable to Synty characters, and I think it doesn't matter if they're probably generic, but we'll find out. We'll find out. So let's go and bring in a couple of other guys here. So Clark female, and then we have Shopper female here, and we have maybe attendant male. There. So if I go, and this means I need the surface selection tool now. I can go and put other outfits on these people. Very good. Look at that. Different skin colors, different outfits. Beautiful. Yes, so that works now. And one guy is going to be compatible with every guy is going to be compatible with all the materials. I like it. It's a huge undertaking to convert them all, but I think it's going to be worth it. It's going to be so cool. So speaking of hair then. All right, did you? Nice. That is a great idea. Yes, I love these guys. And for Unreal and Unity, it works really well out of the box. But for other things, you got to be a bit creative. Oh my goodness, and thank you for your subscription. I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. That is very nice of you. You also, with these Twitch subscriptions, you also get an automatic connection into Discord. So I hope I'll see you there as well. That's nice. Thank you so much. You made my Christmas. That is so cool. Yes, and welcome to the Star Crew. Indeed, yes. Let's see what's going on with hair. So in Blender, these guys also didn't have hair. So I don't know how that loads. But of course, we're all eager to find out. Also, where is the hair? That's another thing we should get started with. Where is the hair? Maybe the Blender can help us out here. So if I add something, where did I put them? OBJ characters, was that here? No, that's just the city characters. But those are the city characters. Where did I put the? Where did I put? That was on the. Did I still have it open here? These are the textures from the Synty test. That's just the textures, man. Where have I? Where have I downloaded them to then? SJ gets completely confused and can't find where he's put things anymore. Was it in here? No, wasn't it in the downloads folder? Was it just on the regular desktop? That was the texture comp, that wasn't it. That was something different. I thought it was in here. These are the city characters. That's a different pack though. Where's the shops pack? I don't remember. Could be in here, no. Could be in here. That's the shops pack. Oh, that's where that is. Right, yeah, that shouldn't be in here. That should be in here. Unless... No, you see, that was actually correct. That was the thing that I've made in DAZ3D. Shops pack, those are my scenes, so that needs to stay put. Oh yeah, I can't remember where that is now. Which is usually an indication that my brain stopped working and I need to stop. Because if it's not in the downloads folder, then where? That's wrap, that's all these things here, that's the city. Those are wedge sandals. I don't know then. Oh, I know. It's in Dropbox in 3D content. It's in Synty assets. It's in Polygon Shops Pack. There we go. Under here. And then under source files, that's where it is. Whew, my goodness. Got it. Found it. So under FBX, we have all these things. Characters is one thing. But then we have every individual single item. So I wonder if I can search this by hair. Character hair, there we go. Character hair, long and short. Let's go and grab all the hairs out. And these are all the attachments. Oh my goodness. So they went more modular than with the later packs. This is the pack I'm looking at, by the way. Not so much this. it is this one here. The Synty store, the Synty Shops Pack, $75 currently, 50% off. And this is what's in there. So there's lots of hair. Oh my God, that's exciting. The shaders will work as well. So my shaders that I've just done. So all we need to do now is grab them out and see if I can use them in DAZ Studio directly and then save them out as individual hair props. Ultimate customization tool. I'm so looking forward to converting this whole thing to DAZ and for use in DAZ Studio. Wow, so all these hairs then. Yes. I'll go make a new folder here, call it Shops Hair, just so that I remember that's where all these things are. Actually, it's not all of them. These are hair dryers. So there's hair styled, short ponytail. Let's go put them in here, just so I'm just copying them so that I can load them in DAZ Studio and see if that works. If it doesn't work, there's always my friend the blender that does that. Wow. What's the game you're making then, X? Because that sounds exciting. Is that something you're okay talking about? Because if you're not, that's also good. I'm just very curious to see how assets, you know, how you can use assets, what you're doing with it. Not because I'm nosy, just because I'm interested. But if you're under an NDA or you don't feel comfortable talking about it, it's totally fine. Let's go and import the shop's hair and just start with one hair. I don't know if the scale is correct because previously I've put everything through a blender. So yeah, it looks like we don't actually have anything that went in here. Yeah, just a null node, so it didn't come in. We have to go through Blender. That's cool. We will do that. We will do that. Friend of mine's actually... Oh, you made clock knockers. Oh my goodness, seriously? Seriously, I'm so sorry. You made that. I thought it was just a game I should check out because it's a good game. You made that. Oh man, that's even better. That is seriously good. I thought you were just recommending the game to me as, you know, other people made that. You made it. My God. That is so cool. I'm going to check that out immediately after. Very cool. Whoa. That is even cooler. Well, in that case, say no more. Very cool. Alrighty. Do you know, on this topic of importing FBXs into DAZ Studio, like you just saw, it doesn't work. And it's because the code of that, that makes that happen, is kind of over 10 years old. And a client of mine is a professor at a university and he teaches computer science. Mind blown. He's into DAZ Studio and he's also into Star Wars, and we had several sessions in which I tutored him on DAZ Studio. Jeff is his name, and he's wonderful. He really got it, and this is one of those things. Sometimes people don't get how valuable the DAZ ecosystem is, and they complain about the fact that, you know, the HD add-on for a figure is like $30 and that's too expensive and all that. And he really got it. He thought, you know what, how much money I would have had to spend if I wanted to do what I wanted to do in Maya, like thousands. And he said, I just bought the basics and some characters and some outfits, so about $200, and he could do his entire project. It was all about figuring out how to do this in DAZ Studio, and it was rocky, but he got there, and he's super happy that he did, and he didn't go down the expensive route. Instead, he invested into time with me so that we could go through this. So, you know, weeks and months go ahead, and his project, he chips along at it. He tells a class of his students, hey, the FBX importer in DAZ Studio is wonky. Why don't you guys write a dissertation about this as a year-end project of how to make it better? Why don't you write an FBX importer that works? And I'm like, what? There are people who exist that can write that and they're students and they're happy to do this? And yes, that is exactly what happened. So I've just watched their presentation. He invited me to participate live as they presented, like 14 of them presented this project of how to write an FBX importer, the challenges they faced. And the idea is that that's going to become an open source project that will make the FBX imports into DAZ Studio a better world. Is that amazing or what? That is just seriously, seriously cool. Isn't that amazing? So yes, that is what he's working on, and they're still sorting out materials, but it is coming. So wonderful. Watch out for that. FBX importer. We don't currently have it, so I'm going to have to go and say shops hair. And this is of course a blend file. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to go and say file import FBX. So I'm super excited about this. Shops hair. Can we import multiple? We could, but let's start with one. Everything's good except for animation. Aha, there it is. And it's the beard, isn't it? It's the beard for one of our characters. So I wonder how we're going to do this then. If I should, sorry, brain freeze about adjustment keys here. If I should just go and say GZ and kind of fit it onto here. I mean, it might not be the exact position. Might go and, this is shopper mail. So I might just go and position it properly. Can I go and put this guy into different viewport display color just so that he's something else? Can we do that? Oh, come on. No, we can't. Ah, what a shame. Okay, fine. I just want to make sure it's positioned in a way that it doesn't so much intersect. I mean, it looks like it's in the correct-ish position here. Hair beard 1. That's neat. See if I can export this as an OBJ now, because we know that works. And I'll just put this into here, maybe in a new folder. What do you reckon? I'll just call it OBJs, and we're gonna call this one hair beard 1, or just beard or 1. Beard or 1, and then we scale it to 100 times the size. That's something I haven't done, and I don't know if it's important or not. Selection only. I don't know if it's important enough to apply the scale, or the translation rather. Let's see what happens in DAZ Studio. If we head over to File, Import, and here's OBJ's beard or 1, and we just say yes. Beard or 1 is indeed in what looks like the correct-ish space. So if we go bring the worker back, he has a beard. Ha! Awesome. So beard is then, that is in its 0 position, so I didn't have to do that. Okay. Okay. Nice. You look like, have you subscribed? I can't tell. It usually comes up with a subscription notification if you have subscribed, but I can't see that you are. It says you're new. Tier 1 sub for 12 months, it says. I don't know. I don't actually know how this works. Usually you should get a little star in front of your name, Joe, but if you have the #1 icon, it might be that you know, that you are subscribed now. I don't really know how I can tell. I hope you are subscribed. Let's just hope those pesky ads go away. So this works. So let me just go and export all the other hair props out of Blender. We know this works, and it's just a matter of positioning them into their correct places then. Oh, this is exciting. Import FBX, hair, this beard 1, beard 2. So I'll just go and say GZ until we are kind of, hello, somewheres. Oh, come on. My brain is really getting confused between modifiers, between the various applications, you know. Everything's different. Wrap, Blender, DAZ Studio. It's crazy. I might actually go and delete that and import multiple. So from here to there, all of these. Ha ha ha. And can I go and GZ all of you? No, I can't. Hey, what a shame. Perhaps I will do it individually then. Because otherwise I get confused. What I've positioned, what I haven't positioned. I wonder if there's one value that I can just use. Yeah, that's wrong, isn't it? I can tell brains get frazzled. We're making 10 more minutes and then I'm stopping. Because if I compare this to hair #1, it is 1.56 up. So if I just say GY 1.56, then that is of course wrong, because it's Z, isn't it? So GZ 1.56, then we bring it into the correct position. Goody, and that seems to be reasonably awesome. He has a beard and everything. That's just so cool. Looks like it worked. All right. Welcome to the Star Crew, Joe. Awesome to see you. Very, very cool. I'm so glad it did work. I'm sorry, there's no better way I can't tell. This is great. I will be back tomorrow with something else. We're not sure with what yet. So this is now beard 02. Righty. Export wavefront OBJ selection only. We're calling it beard 02. All right. Unselect. Import FBX. Hair headband. Okay, bring it on, buddy. That should also GZ 1.56 work with that same thing, does it? Well, I suppose it works better for women. Might also need to be higher here, mightn't it? Yeah, okay, so this needs to be a bit higher to kind of here. Would that work? That's 1.5. It's still 1.56. 1.57, I suppose. Let's try that. So put 0 and then put GZ 1.57. That'll work. I'm thinking. Maybe. And this is called Hair Headband 1. Selection only. See what that looks like if we bring it into DAZ Studio. Hair headband. There we go. And maybe that's not the right look for my man here. But I can see how beautiful that's going to work. Ha! I might just go and export all these things out and then we're going to call it a day. And then importing, I'll do that tomorrow in another session. Headband long. Okay, so GZ 1.57. There it is. Because once you got a thing going, This is hair long. And it's called O1. I'll just keep that as a name here. Import FBX hair long O2. Alrighty. GZ 1.57. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm sure there's ways I can set up keyboard modifiers here. I've also kind of misspelled hair here. I might just leave it misspelled and I'll correct that later. You know, for all these things, I bet there's keyboard modifiers. Lankyle, how you doing? Ian, I'll call you Ian. I thought it was an L. Can't quite tell. Ian, welcome to the stream. You want to start being a 3D artist? Do I have any tips? Wow. I gotta say, patience is probably a virtue. GZ 1.75. Yeah, you gotta have a lot of patience with yourself and with the applications. What softwares are you working in, Ian? Hair messy, here we go. GZ 1.57. Yes, messy hair. I like it. This is so cool. I love that they've done that. I love that they've done this. Did I say hair messy? And it's also messy 01. I might just go call exactly what it is here. So I work predominantly with DAZ Studio, Blender. Actually, I'd use a lot. I gotta say, it wasn't always like that. GZ 1.57. It wasn't always like that. I started with DAZ Studio, and then I noticed perhaps I need other tools to really make that better. Hairnet female 01. And so I started adding things to the pipeline as well as knowledge, but that took a good 15 years, I gotta say. Yeah, about 15 years it took. So I hope it doesn't take you quite that long. Hairnet male. Okay. Because, I mean, 3D is such a dense subject matter. There's so many ways into it. So these days, I'm using a little bit of everything. So I have Blender in my basically my toolkit is Substance Painter, DAZ Studio. There's also Premiere Pro and Photoshop. There's also Blender. There's also new to the collection Wrap 3DS or 3DS Wrap, the Russian 3D scanner. There's also ZBrush. I also use Painter, as well as PaintShop Pro and Clip Studio Paint, but those are just kind of additional post-production tools, really. Blender, that's a good choice. If you're doing Blender, that's a really good choice because it can do a lot and it's free. So, and there's plenty of tutorials out there, which is also really good. Hairnet male. Oh no, sorry. I'm importing the wrong thing on it. Import FBX. Ponytail 01. There it is. So I'm just converting some assets from OBJ formats into DAZ Studio format. Hair ponytail 01. Ding. And for that I'm using Blender because Blender is just that all-round workhorse. You can do particle effects in there. You can do animations, you can do stills, you do amazing renders in this. You can bring in all kinds of content, you can export all kinds of content. Import FBX, hair short 01, GZ 1.57. Ha! Nice. Fantastic. Synty Studios. And it's just hair short, isn't it? Yeah. Hair short 01. I do misspell hair a lot, I've noticed. That's quite okay. Hair short 2. Looks like we have a lot of them. GZ. Sorry. GZ 1.57. There we go. And it's really nice about Blender that you have so many little things that just make your life a lot easier. So I'm bringing this in. I've worked out the correct position, so all I need to do is press G to grab the object, Z to move around. 1.57 is my exact position, and since the object is still selected, I can just go File, Export, Wavefront OBJ. It remembers the folder. All I need to do is press the plus icon, and then it'll increase this little number at the back here, and that saves it as hair short 03. And then we can just go and bring in all the assets that, well, then tomorrow I'm going to go and try to make him DAZ Studio compatible. Number 4, check. Rod, I think you've been saying this for as long as I know you. You really need to get into Blender. You really need to get that DAZ machine going. But there's only so many hours in the day. What can we do? Export Wavefront OBJ. The good thing is about Blender, you know, it's like Photoshop. There is something that it can do like 50 million things and you only need 10 of them. And that's, you know, that's a good way of looking at it. Like Photoshop, you know, I don't use 90% of what Photoshop can do, but I'm really glad I'm just about okay with the 10% that I know what they do. Import FBX. That was hair short 5, hair styled 01. That's the last one. GZ 1.57. Boom. I can't wait to see how this stuff looks in DAZ Studio. Hair styled 01. Fantastic. I'll go and save this. Blend file, and it looks like we're good here. Righty. As promised, all these hair props we're going to deal with tomorrow, both beards and all that, and then we're going to go and put this into another nice little folder here, and that will just look awesome. My friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I want to leave you with really funky and groovy Christmas cheers from the Synty Santa 2021. This is of course still available on OpenSea only for 3 days while Santa is here with us. A loopable animation that I've built today. I'll put a link into the chat right now. Ding! If you know somebody who wants to buy this, or if you want to buy it yourself, go and buy it, because this thing is totally awesome. It's wonderful to have been here with you. Have a wonderful Christmas if I don't see you tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow at some point during the afternoon for probably more of this or for something completely different. It would be nice if we could spend the afternoons between Christmas and New Year together. Drop by, make the most of your subscriptions. Thank you so much for dropping by and joining me, and for subscribing and spreading the word of making the world a better place. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.